Hi, this is a class that I used to give some years ago, and it was entitled Container Gardening. That means you can have a garden even if you have a balcony, even if you have a small area, you can still enjoy the pleasure of planting. Okay, so I will share some of the things I've learned along the years. So that's how everything is started. Okay, so depending on the place, you have a very short season of sunny and warm days, but you can start everything in your home. Okay, so you can, the best things, I had this styrofoam cups that you can buy at Dollar Tree for $1. And I suggest that you poke holes on here. You see, I had a toothpick and I poked holes on it. And then you buy a very good soil, okay? So I always think that the soil makes a difference. So buy a very good soil. And buy the seeds, okay? So make sure you don't use old seeds, okay? If you have very old seeds, so just go and buy new ones, all right? And write down what the seeds are for so you don't forget, because some after they sprout, they are very much alike. And write the dates, okay? So that's how everything is started in a season that I started planting. So 2 months later, so this was in my house, it was still winter, and I wanted to have a head start. You see, when you go to the store in the spring, everything it's like growing, and then you buy the plants that are ready to go, but you can start in your home and enjoy and seeing the plants growing and everything. So 2 months later, that's my garden inside my home, and I was very proud of it. So some plants you can start planting outside. For example, peas. Peas, they don't die in the winter or with cold weather, right? So you can put them outside very early. So in 2 months, peas grow very fast. You can also grow them in containers, and they needed to have something like this, and so they climb and they grow. And it's a very good plant for kids to teach them how to plant and how life goes, how things go, teach them how to harvest. So you can have a small container in your house and you can plant pea, and the children can help you plant and they can help you harvest. So that's a good thing, a good experience that I had. Okay, so then I'm going to start talking about things that you can plant. They are good in containers, okay? So this is spinach, this is potatoes. So potatoes, if you have a very good container, big container like this, that's very good to plant potatoes. And you can plant potatoes, you can buy potatoes and plant it. And also you can have potatoes from your home, you know, let them grow old. And then you're going to see they're going to start sprouting. So cut in pieces, cut the pieces of the potato and plant that sprout, okay? And the important thing is that you need to have, don't you fill the container with the soil, halfway with soil. So then you put the sprout and then you put more dirt. Why? Because the potato is gonna grow downwards, so it needs space to grow. The same thing with carrots. Carrots have very, very tiny little seeds. So don't plant many of them. They are easy to sprout and to go. And they need a container that is deep so they can grow. Okay? So those are two nice ones to plant in container. So here I have peppers. So peppers are also very good to plant in a containers. And here I have cucumbers, cukes. We call here in America, we say cukes. So I have these cukes here that you can plant, and that they are very, very nice. They need a trellis. Trellis means those wire that go up, so you can they can climb. Okay, so cucumbers are very good, and this is a container that you can use to plant it, a big one. Even corns, I grew corns in container. I had a big container and I grew corn, and I love corn. I love picking up corn. I used to play with corn when I was a child, pretending it was a doll. So that was a very nice experience that I had. If you want to go professional, if you want to be very serious about it, you can buy some lights, and lights that help your sprouts inside the house. So blue light helps with growth, and red light helps with bloom. And I bought this lamp at Walmart. It was very cheap, like $20. And you can also buy these lights. Any light, it's not a special light. It's just, you just need the color to help it grow. And it was very easy, and it helped a lot. Plant flowers, okay? Even if you are planting in your backyard or in your porch, so plant flowers, because flowers are going to attract bees and other things that are necessary, and they're going to help your plant grow happier, okay? You're going to have birds. The plants are going to attract bees. You need bees. If you're planting vegetables, you do need beans. You do need bees to make it pollinize, so you can pollinize your plant. So for example, this is a cucumber or a squash plant, okay? So plants have male and female, like us, okay? So when you have flowers, you need to have flowers. If you don't have flowers, you're not gonna have fruits. So this is the male, okay? And this is the female. You're gonna see a little bit fat, and you have these endings here. So this is male and female. And in order to have fruits, the birds or the bees come here, and they get this sugar that they have here, and they keep transferring to each other. That's why you have the fruits. If you don't have that, you can use Q-tips, you can use a brush, and you can come in the male and brush this yellow pollen substance and brush it back here. And then in 2 weeks, you're gonna have fruits. You're gonna have vegetables. Isn't that interesting? All right, so here, this one, it's eggplants. And some plants, they have male and female together. So this is the male and this is the female. So you can brush here and brush it back here. So you pollinize your plant, and then you have vegetables. Tomatoes. Tomatoes, they have the flowers. They are male and female, and they self-pollinize them. So if you notice, if you have ever planted tomatoes, you're going to see the bees, and the bees make a noise, okay? And when they sit in the flower, on top of the flower, it makes like zzz. So that's what the tomato needs. So when your tomato has the first flowers, go in the morning. The pollination should be made in the morning. And shake. Hold your plant and shake slightly, okay, carefully. Shake it, and that's gonna help with pollination, okay? When you buy tomato, you have two types of tomatoes. You have determinate tomatoes and indeterminate tomatoes, okay? So if you're planning on planting in a small area, you should buy determined tomatoes because they grow in an area that you can control. Indeterminate tomatoes, they go big, 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 and huge. Okay, so planting at home in a container, you should choose the determined tomatoes. And you can see that in the label. So when you read the label, you're gonna see that's determined or indeterminate tomatoes. So choose the determined ones that are easier for you to plant at home. Okay, so if you don't control indeterminate tomatoes, they get this big. And if you have a good area and you decide to plant them, they need to be staked. Staked is this. You have this trellis for tomatoes. So you have the container and you put this trellis and you put the tomato so you can control your tomato. Okay? And for tomatoes, you need to be trimming, pruning. Okay? So what's wrong with this picture? So what happens? The more green you have in your tomato plant, the more green you're going to have, and it's not going to produce the fruit. So you need to trim, to cut it, the leaves and the new sprouts. And even if it's getting to the end of the season and you have no tomatoes, stop watering it, because the plant is going to think, oh my God, something is happening. So let's produce the fruits before we go. Okay, so this plant is beautiful, wonderful, but she's not going to have tomatoes because the tomato plant is so big. The plant is spending energy in growing the green. So in the term tomatoes, they need to be pruned. They need to be cut, okay? So you're going to see when the plant grows, you're going to have this extra growth here. So cut this extra growth. So your plant doesn't spend time growing this extra growth. So you come here and then you cut, okay? So then you have the branch, you have the main stem, then you have the branch, it's a main one, and then this is called sucker, okay? Because it's sucking the life of your plant, and that's what you have to keep cutting, so your plant concentrate on producing fruits. Too soon, too leggy. Too late, not enough time to ripen. Okay, so these are tomato plants. Okay, and if they don't have enough light, they're gonna grow taller, looking for light, and that's not good. So don't make them to become. This is too leggy. Okay, they should grow at a normal pace. You can transplant. So let's suppose you started your plant at home. So then you need to transplant your tomato plant to a bigger container. Okay. So cut it, all the extra leaves and branches that you have. Plant your tomato very deep. Okay. So very deep. So put it very deep. And then you add dirt or soil here, and here on the bottom put a little bit of Epsom salt. Salt is nitrate, it's very good to the plant, so put here on the bottom salt. It's Epsom salt, and then it's gonna help your plant grow very fast. Tomatoes love it. Okay, if you plant in your house and it's very cold, if you suddenly take your plants all outside and it's a warm day, your plant is going to die. So you need to acclimate your plants. So you take them outside for 2 hours, and then you bring them back, and then for 3 hours, and then you bring them back until they are strong enough to be outside. Fertilizing your plants is very, very important. I like the growth brand. That is very, very good. So if you buy fertilizers, look for fertilizers for growth or for flowers. It depends on what you need. If you don't have flowers, you're not going to have fruit. So sometimes you need some fertilizers for flower. And the best time to fertilize is in the morning. Don't fertilize your plants in the afternoon. Okay? You can also have organic fertilizers. Okay? So keep these things from your house. Not chicken, pork, or this kind of things, okay? Banana shell is good. Vegetables are very good. Not cooked vegetables, okay? Fresh vegetables. Coffee ground and tea ground are excellent. And also egg shells. It has lots of vitamins. So keep all the egg shells, and then you crush them and put on top of the dirt in your plant. And coffee too. So every now and then, every 2 weeks, so put a little bit of coffee ground and tea ground into your dirt, okay? If you have old soil from last year, you can start preparing your soil. So you have a container and you put all these things inside a container. They are going to decompose, and then you mix the dirt, and then your soil is going to be as good as the one that you buy at the store. You're going to have problems. You're going to have bugs. So these are bugs. They are very annoying, okay? And you have to take care of them. One of the way of taking care of them, you have this Dawn soup, for example, and then 1 gallon of water and 1.5 tablespoon of Dawn soap.